whiskies are just over £30,000 worth of whiskey that being won today by a number of people, which is pretty fantastic. My co-host today is Jake, and I'm going to drag him in a minute. I'm just going to pour myself a wee drink, if that's okay. I think he's just clicking buttons and making sure everything's running, because it's been a couple of weeks since we've done this and we haven't got a clue what we're doing most of the time. Anyway, I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and New Year, and I've just poured myself a little dram. I'm going to go and find Jake and see if he's there. Good evening, Jake.
Good evening, Dave. How you doing?
I'm fine and dandy, thank you very much. Yeah, it's I just sick of this wind and this rain, I must admit. Don't understand why you put Christmas in the middle of winter when there's a great big summer and we could have lots of, Australia have got it right. They've put Christmas in the middle of a summer, which is
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I still find funny. I had a couple of friends out there, a couple of years ago, having a barbecue on Christmas Day. It doesn't seem right, but it's not like we get a white Christmas either. So
no, it's just been
worst of both worlds.
Grey. It's been a grey Christmas here in deepest mid Bedfordshire, that's for sure. I just look, not another bloody grey day. It did brighten up and we did see blue skies, and I was straight out there lapping up the bit of sunshine, almost like with my tongue out at the sun. Lap that sunshine up today, because it's been a long time since I've seen any. Aye.
No, I'm glad you caught some. Yeah.
Yes.
We've got a few people commenting already. So David's saying this is his first live draw. He's excited, and Alex and Ruben as well. All wishing everyone luck. So yeah, best of luck everyone tonight. And yeah, we've got some crazy whiskies lined up, right, Dave?
I've just been looking at the list of what we're throwing out today. I mean, these are all tickets that were sold just before Christmas and then just before the New Year, from what I remember. And I was just looking at what you've been adding this week, which is even crazier. There are some wonderful whiskies here that we've got here. The first one up I've got on my list, Jake, is Glendronach.
Indeed. Let me see. I've been pushing buttons. What I need to also do is get some wheels going. So
now, I don't know an awful lot about Glendronach. I must admit, it's not a distillery I've had a great deal of exposure to. We haven't ever bottled any Glendronach at Hibiki.
See, yeah.
I would love some. So I've got no stories about Glendronach. It's one of the few distilleries that we haven't bottled at Hibiki. So I don't. All I know is that it was a Billy Walker, and he added the capital D in there.
That's right, as he does. Yeah.
And now it's gone back to just being without the capital D.
But an extra capital in the middle.
This is a collection of 4 whiskies: 12, 15, 18, and 21. And this distillery was mothballed for a little while, wasn't it? It stood still, and for a long time, some of these whiskies, the 12-year-old, the 15-year-old, and 18-year-old, the whiskies were getting older and older and older each release. They were still keeping it as a 12, 15, 18, and 21, but there were parcels of whiskey that were much, much older in it, and people were checking bottle codes. I remember that a long, long time ago, to see which one is the oldest one. Yeah, and they were getting, bang for your buck sort of thing on these whiskies. But here's a collection of 4 whiskies. This was just 125 tickets at and all sold out. So a 1 in 25 chance in winning this little collection. These whiskies, make a little impressive. I would say a very impressive. Although I've tasted a few of these going back over the years, I don't think I've ever owned a bottle of Glendronach. Just not been on my radar. Yeah.
Don't let anyone know. It's all right. I don't think
I would have definitely gone in for.
It's not like you're saying it live out to the world.
I have, yeah. I'm pretty certain I've never had one in the collection.
It's very, very, very popular. Sherry whiskey. So it's a favourite of Master and Malt. We sell a lot of this when we have it, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But wheels ready to go, Dave.
Okay, let's get that wheel up and let's pick a winner.
Let's get this first one going.
Get the show on the road, because we've got a lot to get through. Let's get going.
Stephen, congratulations.
Hey, Happy New Year, Stephen. And there's your little collection of Glendronach. And yeah, enjoy.
Awesome.
What's there? That's great. That's one gone, one down. What's next?
I think you know a little bit about the next one.
I do know an awful lot about this. This is a collection of 9 American whiskies and 1 Dutch rye. Why did we got the Dutch rye in there? Well, because the original spirit of America was original whiskey. I'm not going to say spirit because they were drinking rum and brandy and things like that before. But yeah, the original whiskey was rye whiskey from the eastern seaboard, the Pennsylvanian rye and the New York rye and the Maryland rye. And it was the European immigrants that took rye, the Dutch and the Germans that took rye over to America, and it became the prevalent spirit, which is why we added this in. But yeah, this is a collection of bourbons, rye whiskies, and new American single malt whiskies. And we had this collection of 9, and we were looking for a theme for the labels, and we ended up with these vintage baseball cards. And if you're a real geek, a card geek or a magazine geek, you'll see all the little details that we've got on these cards with these validation labels and all of that sort of thing, just to make it look a bit special. And it really does look fantastic altogether, I must admit.
Yeah, this is a really cool collection. And like you say, it's the complete collection. It's all 10. I love you trying to reason out the fact there's a Dutch one in there as well. I'm sure I've seen somewhere else just explained as like, yeah, we had a Dutch rye kicking about and we needed to release because that was also a wicked liquid, and
yeah,
shit, let's just crowbar it in.
Well, we did, and because it basically was that. What are we going to do with this rye? It's banging. We said, well, the original spirit. We'd spoken about it so many times, the original spirit, and then we had a card collecting geek within the team who said, well, if you send the card away and it's a fake, it gets sent back to you torn in half. So on our Dutch label in there, we actually make it look as though it's been torn in half. This is total geekery. Yeah.
Love it.
But the rye is banging. And I think it's the oldest whiskey in the lineup as well. It's a 9-year-old rye. Most American whiskey is quite young. All very, very good. These have all been bottled at natural cask strength as well. So they're big, punchy whiskies. Anyway, shall we pick a winner?
Let's do it. So
these were just 149 tickets. I don't think they were all sold, which is a shame because it's a over £900 collection of whiskies.
I think 147 out of 149 sold. So I mean, it's near as damn it. Yeah,
it's close. Yeah. It's an instant collection. It's the story of American whiskey in a tasting. What a tasting that would be! Oh yeah. Darren, congratulations, Darren. If you want to know anything about these whiskies, just find me on social media and I can dig out a little bit more information. If you need to talk to me about boutique whiskies, try getting me to stop talking about boutique whiskies.
Absolutely. There you go. Tap up Dave for more info. But yeah, 10 bottles to start the new year. That's pretty awesome. Congratulations.
For just a tenner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad little ticket, yeah. Okay, up next, I've got on my list is something from a closed distillery. So this is the old Glenlochy distillery. It's a 35-year-old. It's one of the Signatory. It's another independent bottler from Signatory Vintage. I remember my first ever bottling of Signatory Vintage that I was bought from a birthday from one of my daughters. Cracking-looking decanter and a little tin. I couldn't bear to part with the tin and the empty bottle because they just look so pretty. God knows what I'm going to do with it. I mean, the cork's probably dried out now, but the tin looks like you can't even get biscuits to fit in the tin. It's a cracking looking decanter. This is liquid history. This distillery was closed back in 1983 and lost forever. Completely lost. The land has been redeveloped. So these little gems that pick up every now and again, like I say, liquid history, or I also often say rare as rock and our shit, because have you ever seen? You just don't see much in Glenlochy. So this was distilled in 1980, not long before the distillery closed. Very little of this stuff lying around.
Yeah.
This will be really superb.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think it's only a couple of hundred bottles.
Yes, it's just over 200 years. A single cask, 35 years. A lot of the Angels took their share, just 218 bottles. I think this is all at cask strength. These are generally bottled at cask strength, aren't they? Yeah.
Indeed, I think it's the cask strength collection, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Let's pick a winner. A little drop of whiskey. Richard.
Congratulations, Richard.
I would definitely have put in a punt on this one as well. This is one I definitely would have thrown a punt at. Well, there's two now, wasn't it? The Glendronach and the Glenlochy. I'd have definitely put a punt in on this.
It's all bangers for over Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, we're going to head to Islay. We're going to be flicking to and from Islay constantly at the moment. I think this little lineup has quite a few Islay. First, going over to Laphroaig with a pretty old whiskey, 36 years old. You don't see an awful lot of old Islay whiskey, and we've got a few tonight. 36 years old. It's a very special edition. There were just 249 tickets that we sold for this one, and there were only 200 bottles, and each of them apparently are unique. They've been hand painted. The labels and the boxes have been hand painted by an artist, Macallan, and then using the exact same paint.
Yeah.
We've
had some old Laphroaigs on here, haven't we?
We have a story of Ian Hunter. Ian Hunter?
Yeah. So we've had
the story collection.
These ones are, like you say, this one's very limited, 200 bottles, hand painted with the same paint that they use for the big letters on the side of the distillery, I believe.
Yeah, the white and the black. I don't know, what are we? Dulux Weather Shield or something like that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's right. They make a big thing of like the same very special paint that we. Yeah.
What do you paint the outside of your house? Normally Dulux Weather Shield. Yeah. Or Santex or something like that. I seem to remember in the old days.
There you go. One of only 200 bottles of whiskey in the world with Dulux Weather Shield on it. Rare stuff.
Hey, let's find a winner for this one.
Let's spin this wheel.
So this was another one that didn't quite sell out.
No, again, I don't know whether it's because it's an expensive bottle, and that was affected to some extent with ticket prices. But I think we sold 80%, and it's good news for Keith that the other 20% didn't get sold because his tickets come up. So congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, Keith. Yeah, that is your ticket. Your number just came up there. Yeah, congratulations. That is a little drop of Islay history.
Yeah, that is a fantastic one to win. Well, they all are.
They all are. Yeah. We were buying tickets. There's a few of them I'd buy tickets for, and we picked two of them. I think there's another couple back here. Yeah, there's another couple I won't mind. This one next is, we're going to stay in Islay for a little while. This is a Bowmore 29-year-old. It's another limited edition. Bowmore, the oldest distillery on Islay. It's probably the oldest whiskey warehouse that's still in use today in Scotland, period. This is in Islay's capital town of Bowmore, the capital town, the one with the round church at the top of the hill. This was created from a combination of European oak and American oak sherry seasoned casks, as well as some bourbon casks, all the standard whiskey casks, like it's special. It's all normal, but there's a combination that were all filled between 1991 and 1992, when whiskey was a bit of a difficult period at that time. There wasn't an awful lot being made around the end of the 80s, early 90s because of the big whiskey lock. This was bottled at cask strength, as you say, in the cask strength collection. This was a little bit bigger batch, 3,000 bottles, and has been painted with Dulux Weather Shield or other exterior paints are available. This is in a lovely presentation box and a gorgeous looking colour of that whiskey, I must admit.
Yeah.
So there are just 175 tickets. So a 1 in 175 chance of picking up this one. Let's
the only distillery that Master of Malt has ever crashed a Land Rover in front of. Congratulations, David.
Congratulations, David. A Bowmore 29-year-old from their Timeless series will be winging its way as soon as those little elves in the warehouse can wrap up they're just putting away their Christmas decorations at the moment, I guess. They've been busy elves all over the Christmas holiday.
Oh, yeah.
If I lived closer, I would have been in there helping out, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay, here's something I would love. This is definitely one I would have punted up for a couple of
We've seen
tickets.
that a lot tonight. Yep.
I would have definitely picked up the Rosebank, my daughter's favourite distillery. She's got expensive tastes. This is independently bottled. I think this one wasn't independently bottled by Specialty Drinks. I tasted this one at the Whisky Show a little while ago. Rosebank 21-year-old, the Roses edition, number 6 Unity. Absolutely spectacular triple distilled lowland whiskey. One of those distilleries that were culled in the late 80s, early 90s, was culled in 1993. It says on the notes, it does say that. I tried to break into the distillery when I was up in Falkirk area. Not to break in, but really just to have a look, because I'd heard that the stills had been stolen and all that, because it was all mothballed.
I was going to say, you don't really found at the scene of the crime, Dave.
No, it was long after it had gone. I tried to get in to have a look to see what was left, and you couldn't get in. You couldn't get in at that time. I never thought I'd see the day when it was coming back to life, which was just fantastic. Everything was stolen. All the copper was stolen over Christmas.
That's the extraordinary thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Someone
obviously it is being rebuilt, but all of the original kit was half-inch over Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
New Year's back.
Yeah. Yeah. And bashed down for scrap. If only they knew. Yeah, I guess, whiskey wasn't the talking point at the early 90s. I don't know when it was nicked.
I think it was sort of 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but a long time after it closed. But
it's just sitting there empty for years and years and years, and someone said, "Well, let's get that copper out."
Yeah,
let's stop this.
Shouldn't laugh. It's only because it's so ridiculous. You can't imagine someone sort of walking out the front door with a still, like.
Yeah, and nobody noticed.
Yeah. No, crazy. All right.
Okay, let's pick a winner.
Let's spin this wheel.
Just a full-size, full screen.
Ooh. Right.
Just very serene. Just 199 tickets were sold. It did sell out. This was a sellout. Well played, Maureen, and you have won that beautiful Rosebank, and it is
absolutely awesome stuff. Happy New Year, Maureen.
Definitely would be punting up for that. Absolutely. Okay, moving swiftly on, let's head over to Speyside via Glasgow. We're going to go to Glasgow, really, because this is where it's the bottling people over there are based in Glasgow. This is an extra old particular from our friends at Douglas Lang, another old family business. I think they're celebrating their 70th anniversary this year, the Lang family. Lang family as an independent bottlers, the people who bottle the Big Pete and all these other whiskies. This is an extra old particular. Their black series. It is a 31-year-old Macallan. I mean, old Macallan. You know how much old Macallan costs these days. Ridiculous. This is 31 years old. A 1919 cask. 31 years maturing. And it's been finished in a sherry cask. So this is kind of special. There were just 299 tickets of this one. Beautiful looking box and bottle. Let's pick a happy winner.
Indeed.
Yeah, this would have only been a single cask. So just 174 bottles were available. Hopefully this one will get drunk too.
Yeah, an extra old particular black series. Got a few old particulars, not so many of these ones there. But Nadia has one now.
Excellent. Nadia has definitely got one. Wonderful. Great news.
Awesome stuff. Right.
Congratulations, Nadia. You have got a Macallan 31-year-old winging its way to you soon. Okay, let's head back over to Isla. Probably the oldest Isla I think I've ever seen. Has there anything been bottled as
Serious
old?
stuff. Yeah.
I haven't seen any 50. Yeah, there was some old Bunners, but it was a 40-year-old, wasn't it, a Bunner? I tasted the 40-year-old Bunner, but I haven't seen anything. The 45-year-old Portuguese. Another independent bottler, Portuguese, from Speciality Drinks again, the same people that we talked about, that Rosebank. 45 years old. This release was drawn from 5 sherry butts and married for a year before bottling. So from those 5 butts, after 45 years, much of it would have gone via the Angels, and they were put together before bottling. Finding whiskey this old that hasn't disappeared to the Angels. I mean, any whiskey at this age, the Angels have a greedy share, even in Scotland. So it's not easy to find this. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Look at the colour of it, the wooden box. This is whiskey for drinking, a special occasion, 45 years old. It would set you up back about £2,000 if you were to buy a bottle. We have just 249 tickets, I believe. Let's find a lucky one.
Indeed. Another song
Nice.
out.
Music.
We'll throw this music in some point. Peter.
Yeah, that old smoke should be nice and soft, and yeah, it should be delicious. Old peated.
I'm very jealous on that one. Congratulations, Peter.
Yes, indeed. All right, here's another one I would definitely have punted a ticket for. A pair of old Glenfarclas. Haven't tasted lots of quite a bit of old Glenfarclas. I've been very lucky and have tasted quite a few old Glenfarclas, including my birth years. It's one of those distilleries that seem to have casks from all of these years going back. Some years harder to find than others, particularly in the 1980s, that's for sure. When I was there last, they only had 1 cask of 1984 left. It's just 1 single cask. Quite difficult to get hold of that sort of time. So this is a collection of 2 of their vintage whiskies, 1 30-year-old bottling, 1 40-year-old, in beautiful packaging with the red doors on them. Yeah, just beautiful. I would have definitely punted up for one of these or 2 tickets. Yeah, you don't see an awful lot of these this age. Well worth a punt. And beautiful whiskey. Let's pick a lucky winner. They were just 199 tickets. One, congratulations. Happy New Year to you. There's 2 whiskies to celebrate with. 2 big ones as well.
Yeah, what a duo that is.
And if you
40-year-old. Awesome distillery.
Yeah, awesome distillery. If you haven't been up to Speyside, get up to Speyside. And if you haven't visited Glenfarclas, I can't recommend it enough. It's a great distillery to visit. And while you're up there, there's a number of other distilleries that you really ought to pop into. Right, we're going to head back over to Isla for our penultimate whiskey. We're back over with an extra old particular from our friends at Douglas Lang. Again, another independently bottled Port Ellen. So 39-year-old. This is another old Isla whiskey. We've had some old Isla whiskies. I think the Douglas Lang family have probably more old Port Ellen than anybody else. They must have been in there as the distillery closed in the 80s and just emptied the warehouse and bought everything up, because they seem to have just some absolute belters. So this is 39-year-old from 1982, early 80s. It's bottled at cask strength at 53.7%, and yeah, why don't they just hang on for it for another month and make it a 40-year-old? The ABV was there, but yeah, they're celebrating. They are celebrating with this. Let's pick a winner. There are just 199 tickets here. Of course, it's sold out pretty quickly. The Port Ellen always does.
Of course it did, yeah.
One of those distilleries that really only found favour once it was really found favour amongst the whiskey drinkers, and when it was closed.
Quite a lot of favour at that point.
Glenlochy.
Quite a lot of favour.
All of them.
Boom. David P, fantastic. Congratulations.
Not David W. No, okay.
Not Dave W this time.
Damn. Okay. We're on to the big one. Oh, the seriously big one. Mental. Absolutely mental.
Seems mad that we can go bigger than that, doesn't it? But
yeah, it does.
The value at the moment, then currently.
Japanese whiskey, 100 years old this year. We talked about it the last time. Talked about this fabulous book. This is Hibiki, which is a Japanese blended, and that's what Japanese are known for. The Japanese are known for blending their whiskies, much like the Scotch, known for blending their whiskies. However, the Japanese do it generally. They haven't really been collaborating amongst different companies as the Scotch whiskey makers have done over the years, and so they've done their blends mostly in-house by creating their own different styles from their distilleries. But Hibiki has been up there for so many years. How many trophies has this one won? International Spirits Challenge 2004, 2006, 2008, the world's best blended whiskey at the World Whiskies Awards in 2007.
Assume all of them, yeah.
Hey?
Just assume they've won all of them, yeah.
Yep. I mean, as you say on the Master of Malt website, stonkingly good stuff.
Stonkingly good stuff, yeah.
But sadly, it's beyond most of us these days at the prices because people want it. This is one hell of a lot. $7,500 retail price for a bottle of whiskey. We had it down with just 149 tickets, and yes, of course, they all sold out. So This is the big one tonight. There's some big ones coming up, but let's pick a winner for this one.
Let's do it.
Big one. Excellent.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Stephen.
Some stonking whiskey coming your way.
Splash that all over. Yeah. Okay, the winners will be contacted this week. The team will be sending them out as soon as they can. We're certainly looking forward to seeing those big cheesy grins with your winnings. It's always looks good in our winners section. Loved seeing the cheesy grins. If there's a dog involved, even better.
Then Dave will be even more pleased. Yeah.
I'm very happy when I see the dogs in the pictures as well with the whiskey. That makes me so happy. It doesn't stop there. I've seen you've loaded some mental collections up, and some interesting collections, like drinking collections, what I call some really drinking, an 18-year-old collection, 5 single malts, all 18-year-olds, the big names, covering all the regions as a 21-year-old collection. There's some very old whiskies, 32-year-old Irish whiskey from Teeling, a 32-year-old special release from Bruichladdich, a collection of 5. I think there's a private collection of the Ardbeg Supernova collection, which are all committee member releases. Yeah, and there are some amazing whiskies going up live. And you're adding them all the time. You go mad.
Yep. Mad. Yeah, the Huntlang Kinship collection, and there's some crazy whiskies in there, mostly Isla, of course, but Highland Park in there as well, all sort of 25 plus, I think. Oh, there's a 18-year-old Bruichladdich, but I think that's live today.
Wow. Excellent. So I'll be back next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Pulling more whiskies out of the hat. Well done all the winners. Sorry if you haven't won. I wish we could all win, but sadly that's not how it works. There's only one prize for each set of tickets. That's the luck of the draw, as they say.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for being the co-host today, Jake.
Yeah, no worries. I bungled through.
I've got a lovely dram up here to say Happy New Year to you all, and good evening and good night.